Wanted to give a quick explanation for essential question number 1 in the fall of 2011. The example that we're looking at right here is when you have a private charter jet service. So the first thing you did is you took out a loan to have some cash. So what you're seeing here is an increase in assets. That's the loan. That's the cash you're getting from the loan. And an increase in liabilities. That's the loan itself. And please note that there's this equal sign here that's between the assets and the sum of liabilities and owner equity. And because we have that increase in assets, we have to counterbalance it someplace. Also, what you should spot is that things that happen on the balance sheet tend to echo over in the cash flow statement, and specifically they tend to echo into either the investments part, which is what happens when you buy and sell an asset, or finance, when you're borrowing, lending, or alternately having a change in owner equity. In this case, what we're doing is taking out a loan, and we're watching the cash here, so we have an increase in cash in the business from finance. Should be a pretty good answer to question number 1. Question number 2, you buy a jet for the business with cash. So we have an increase in assets of a jet, that's a fixed assets, and a decrease in assets, current assets of cash. That one's pretty easy. And please note that that balances out that balance sheet just up in the asset set part of it. At the same time, buying and selling an asset also has an effect on cash. What we have is a decrease in cash from investment activities. That's what buying the plane does. So let's go ahead and mark that one off. Switching to green, hire some pilots. Pilots are expenses, and so we'll have an increase in expenses because of those guys. That decreases your net income and decreases your cash from operations. Thing to spot here is that anything that eventually changes your net income should echo over into cash from operations. Nice little rule for you. Switching to blue, new client pays for 6-month travel services up front. Kind of tricky, but what we're doing here is you saw that you had some cash because they paid you, but at the same time it's balanced off against a liability. This is some prepaid something. Let's go ahead and make it so that it is a increase in cash from finance. I think it's the best way of depicting it. And you may also have something over here at revenue, but that's not quite working out for us yet. So let's stick with this right here being a pretty good answer to this question. Going back to black for question number 5, an investor pays you $10 million to become a partner. Sweet. So we have an increase in assets of $10 million, and to balance it out, we have an increase in owner equity. Perfect. Our balance sheet balances out. What we also have to do is show how this echoes in the cash flow statement. So we have an increase in cash from finance. Owner equity changes tend to happen in the finance section. This is what happens when you pay dividends too. So that was question number 5. Question number 6, price of fuel increases, but you keep the rates the same to avoid upsetting customers. So we've got this increase in expenses. That decreases net income and decreases cash from operations. So it should be exactly the same as question number 3, just in case you're keeping track. That's the one that's in red. Question number 7, green, you make a payment on your loan, no interest expense because it's 0 interest. This should actually work out to be the opposite of taking out the loan. So what you have here is a decrease in cash, that's an asset, a decrease in your liabilities, and a decrease in cash from finance, because please remember the cash left, so the cash has to leave over in the cash flow statement too. So that's question number 7. Question number 8, in blue, you realize your competitors have raised the rate, so you finally raise yours as well and don't lose customers. Hey, look at this one, kink demand curve model, gotta love it. So what we're doing here is increasing our revenue because we raised our rates and didn't lose any customers. We increased our net income, and we also increased our cash from operations. So that should be a good explanation of essential question number 1 from the fall of 2011, and this is the one we had a private charter jet service.